All right, I'm standing right outside of 1102 Summit, right at the intersection here, Summit and Forest. This, of course, Avery Elementary School. Everybody loves that. Front door on the Summit side, then you side entrance to the garage. Looks like wood paneling on a wood siding, probably cedar. So a little bit of rot up the top, a little bit of or a moisture issue. I wouldn't say rot, but you can tell where it's had some moisture up top on the gable. Not uncommon at all, nothing scary at all. I'm just going to go around the exterior here before I go inside. Looks like it's freshly painted. That definitely looks like cedar, if not the siding below, the planks up above. So always do a real thorough check for termites. They love cedar. Concrete retaining walls in great shape. Driveway's in pretty good shape. A couple offsets, a couple of cracks, nothing out of the ordinary for the area. Looks like we're sitting under a black walnut tree. We've got some big trees. There's that black walnut right there out of the four. It may not belong to you, but it's coming over your house a little bit. Treads to the stair. 2 AC units, looks like dual zone. And nice landscaping here. The railroad ties look like they're in good shape. Sliding door and a screened-in porch there. I know there's a survey that's online that would tell us where the boundary is. There's no fence to the side to the neighbor, but there is a backyard fence on the neighbor's house, at least. Tells me that shouldn't have any problems if you want to put up a fence. Nice wraparound porch. Like to see this. This is a new 4-inch cap on a PVC riser for a clean out. Tells me that some work's been done. Pressure treater boards on the side deck here. All in all, this is a nice little area. Then porch is nice, big, and open. I'll pause real quick while we go inside. All right, entering into the home. Looks like we got nicely finished wood floors. Can lighting. I'm going to click on my light here. Can lighting in the living room ceiling, some flush mount lights as well. Hardwood throughout. A little strobing going on in this extra office here. There is an HVAC vent right here by the closet on this. And there is a closet door with a hanging shelf. It's not deep enough really to hang clothes. It's only 12 inches deep. You need 24 to hang a shirt. And there's no door. Oh, here we go. We got the barn door. I see. Okay, so you can't close that off. Looks like it might be tall enough, and it looks like it might be big enough. I mean, you could kind of call it a bedroom. You got some water damage here on this window. But that's a bit of a stretch to call that a bedroom. Powder room here on the first floor looks good. I like the floors. Floors might even be new. They look like they're job finished, but they're in good shape. Granite countertops, shaker style cabinets, 42 inches high, go all the way up with a little bit of trim, crown molding on the top. Side by side fridge with water and ice. All the appliances match. Stainless Whirlpool. Let's see any actual GFCI breakers. Here's one here on this dry counter. These may be GFCI, just daisy chained onto another one that trips, but you'd like to see at least one on the counter that has the breaker and the test switch on it. Looking out the side door there. Little coat closet here. And then this must be the pantry. Pretty good, not bad. Lots of storage. Fairly open for the age of the building. It's pretty open concept. I'd like to do this light a favor and turn it out, I think. If I can figure out how. Go upstairs first. There you see a little bit of moisture damage on that. As long as it's conventional loan, it's not a problem, but if FHA appraiser sees that, they'll predicate the loan on that being scraped and painted. Not too bad. Carpet upstairs. Got 2 beds. Dormer closet. A vent in the ceiling. Now this is just about, well, since there is some dormer involved in this, and the vents are in the ceiling, I'm gonna guess it's a 70-degree day today. I'm gonna guess that this, you might have some issues heating and cooling. I like the fact that it's dual zoned. It's not a big house to have 2 AC units, but when you've got dormer rooms, you almost always need supplemental heating and cooling on the upstairs part of it. So that's why I like seeing the 2 AC units. Got a skylight. Those have a tendency to leak. That doesn't look brand new, although the roof does look newer. So have an inspector check that out. Also look for little signs of leaking in the dormers. Pretty narrow opening, but a 6-foot wide closet nonetheless. The way they have this set up, it could be a little bit more efficient. Double hung. And then a full bath for the master with a tiled shower pan. Dual sink, that's nice. Fan. Tiled floor. Looks like engineered top. Looks nice. And of course, full bath here. With pretty much the same fit and finish, only with a tub. Tiles around. There's double pane windows with wooden frames. These are most likely an upgrade from a vinyl window. With the double pane, let's see, this one doesn't really latch. So make sure you put the kid who's least likely to sneak out in this room. That window doesn't really latch. Look, this other closet's probably just a little bit smaller, so you got stairs there. Yeah, it's just to reach in. Make and do with what you got there. So I would agree, this is legitimately a 2-bedroom. If you want to call that little office a bedroom, you can, but that's a stretch. It's a stretch most realtors will try to make, though, if we can get it. But if it's got an HVAC, if it's got legit HVAC running to it, then you can't count that square footage. Wooden beam right down the center. Tells me it's an older home. This looks like PVC that's been painted. Got the right band on it. So yeah, it's a PVC stack. That's what you want to see. Electric water heater with an expansion tank. 14 is the date they have on that. Older basement. Good idea to have a dehumidifier. I'd set it at 50 or under. They're putting it at 75. Here's the laundry area. You step up into it. Almost tall enough for me to stand up in, so it's not quite 6.5 feet here. 3-inch drain, 200 amp panel with a radon mitigation system. I don't think that's quite right. I'm not sure you can have a negative amount of radon unless I'm reading this wrong. I must be. This is sitting at 2. You just want it under 4. That's the return side. Yeah, okay. So that's right. All right, so we got a Sylvania panel. Sylvania was bought Zensko. Zensko is a brand that the company went out of business back the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. They sold a bunch of these, and it's one of 2 panels that every home inspector is going to call out as a potential fire hazard. I have closed on homes with Zensko or Sylvania panels, but if they're not wired correctly, they are a fire hazard. And most electricians are going to recommend that you get rid of them. So Zensko, the other one is Federal Pacific Stab Lock. Zensko's, their revelation was this circuit breaker here. So it's the breakers. It's not really the panel that's the problem. It's the breakers that are the problem. But it has to be wired correctly. And I'm not an electrician that can spot whether it is or isn't. But it's something that your home inspector is definitely going to call out. $1,200 is a low number that we throw at replacing those panels. That's a 200 amp panel. So big enough to support this house and more, much more. If you want to put a pool or a jacuzzi, you could do that. And then we got a little room, good enough for storage. It all smells nice and dry. PVC stack there. Going into PVC. This comes right out the back. So more or less like laundry or yard storage here. That's what the best use for this is. Just check this out real quick. What looks to be under the front porch. Ordinarily you'd see some rebar pops here where the floor to the porch was poured. This is nice and tight. Looks like it's been dry locked and no sign of moisture down here. Nothing out of the ordinary. I'd say above average in terms of what the basement looks like for a house this old. So just to revisit this room here, I really would like to turn that light off or figure out how. But yeah, you do have vents that lead to this room. You have a door, you have a closet, you have the height, and you have the space. To call this a bedroom, I mean, theoretically you could use it as one, but you know, quite honestly, it's probably always going to be somewhat of a mudroom or an office. It's all windows, so it's definitely meant to be a sunroom in the beginning, but it qualifies and the square footage should count in the county records. But that's my 2 cents. 1102 Summit. You know how to get a hold of me if you have any questions or need any more information.